I woke up in a cold sweat as I heard a pack of wolves howling outside. Seconds later, the cackling hyenas joined in, and then I heard the blood-chilling roar of a lion. I was surrounded. I walked over to my window, opened it, and yelled, "Be quiet and let me sleep, you buffoons! Do you want me to look like a raccoon in the morning?" Wow, it actually worked. They don't always listen to me. And yeah, I said the whole waking up in a cold sweat thing for dramatic effect. I'm a melodramatic girl. You see, I am surrounded by wild animals, but they're all in cages. And I live inside a zoo. Now please go away. I'll tell you the rest of my story in the morning. And by the way, I'm Tina. And don't forget to like and subscribe, yada yada. Bye! So yeah, I really did grow up in a cottage inside the zoo, since my parents were the zookeepers. And I know I called the animals buffoons earlier, but I didn't mean it. It's like when you call your siblings morons, but you still love them, right? The animals were my first playmates, so naturally, I couldn't quit horsing around, even in school. Listen, I can howl like a wolf. Ow! Tina, can you stop making animal sounds? You're disturbing the whole class. At least I'm not putting them to sleep. I heard that, young lady. You're staying back in recess to reflect on your behavior. The only thing I reflected on was how to prank my teacher. So the next day, when she opened her desk drawer, a tarantula casually walked out and then jumped on her arm. She screamed and flapped her arms around like a rabid chicken, then tripped on her chair and fell on her butt. Needless to say, I ended up in detention. And that's where I first talked to the dreamboat in my class, aka Eric. Okay, yeah, he's only 11 here, but you could tell even then that this kid's gonna grow up to be a hunk, and he already had a bad boy reputation. I'd seen kids giving up their lunch money to him, carrying his bag, and even cleaning his shoes. Rumor had it that a kid who pissed off Eric woke up in a garbage dump the next day, and he had no memory of how he got there. But Eric seemed to be utterly fascinated by me, or maybe all the animals I could play with at the zoo. The point is, he was nice to me, and that was all I needed to consider him my first human friend. Can you really pet the crocodiles? Don't they bite? Nope, they love me. Well, the alligators do, but they're kind of the same, right? Potato, potato. Newsflash, they're not the same, but that's a discovery I made later. Can you sneak me in tomorrow? I want to play with them. I'll have to think about it. I can pay you. Deal. I was so excited to have Eric over, and even my parents were happy to see me with a two-legged creature for once. All right, kids, your mom and I have some things to do, but feel free to roam around the zoo and don't get into any trouble. You sure you don't want me to take you around? Dad, we don't need a babysitter. We'll be just fine. Be cool, man. Be cool. Once they left, Eric turned to me. Did you get the keys? Yep. My dad had keys to all the enclosures, and I'd taken the key for the crocodile one so Eric could see them up close and personal. Now all we have to do is not get caught by the cameras. Wait, there are cameras? Yep, but I know where they are. Come on, we just need to sneak past them using their blind spots. Do you do this often? Yeah, I love feeling like a spy. Okay. I was definitely impressing Eric a lot. I could already see it. Me and Eric, prom king and queen in high school. Soon, we were standing inside the enclosure, only a few feet away from the crocodiles. Up close, they looked a lot bigger than I thought. I told you, I've only played with alligators before. And wow, these creatures could swim fast, and they were coming right at us. They look hungry. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't pet them. Ah! Look at that one! He's gonna eat me! Eric screamed and started running frantically, and I was right behind him. Then he tripped over a twig, I crashed into him, and we both fell on our faces, and the crocodile was hot on her tail. Just then, I noticed a mirror on the ground next to Eric. I held it up and caught the sunlight, sending a blinding flash into the crocodile's eyes. It got confused for a bit as we scrambled to our feet and ran out. I locked the enclosure quickly, and Eric dropped to his knees. Oh God, that was the worst day of my life. It wasn't that bad. I mean, think of how I saved your life with my quick wit and fearless spirit. Why do you carry a mirror around, though? To see my beautiful face, which that crocodile would have destroyed in a second. You're horrible. What? I'm amazing! I'm your hero, Eric! But he just couldn't stop hyperventilating. My parents found us, and when they discovered what had happened, they dropped Eric at home, and I was forbidden from ever having friends over again. Eric's mom, the school principal, tried pressing charges, but since we'd avoided all those cameras, there was no proof I'd let him into the crocodile enclosure. But Eric did stop talking to me, which hurt. In case you haven't figured it out, I have a crush on this guy, okay? Don't ask me why. The heart wants what it wants. However, taking Eric to the zoo did give me a rather cool business business idea. I had access to stuff most people didn't, and I could use that to make money. Here, a photo of the new lion cub. It's totally exclusive. The public hasn't seen it yet. And you ordered a skin from the rarest snake, right? It wasn't easy to get, so that'll be $200. As if I'd ever hurt my beautiful, slithery friends. No, this Tracy is some rich psycho who wants snakeskin bags, and I told her I'd get her the real deal. But this skin is as fake as her face. All right, she's actually very pretty naturally. Love that for her. My business went well for about a week, till it was cut short by the principal, who still hated me for putting her precious baby in danger. You cannot bring anything like that to sell in the school from now on. You better start acting like other normal girls your age. Do you understand what I'm saying? The other normal girls were the ones asking me for pictures and snakeskins. You only sell something if there's a demand for it. Economics 101, people. But the worst part was that my parents agreed with her and grounded me. You really should start acting less like a wild child, Tina. No going out to play with the animals until you cool down a little. Seriously? Watch your tongue, young lady. Okay, gotcha. And I stuck out my tongue and watched it. Mom was not amused. As time passed, we all slowly forgot about my reckless past. With my 16th birthday coming up, I wanted to do something fun that my class would remember. Okay, I don't really care about the rest of the class. It's just that my prediction had come true, and Eric had become hot. He was now your typical bad boy. Hair slicked back with gel? Check. Top shirt buttons always open? Check. Look super cool chewing gum? Check. Flirting with every girl? Except me, of course. Check. I couldn't invite him alone, obviously, so I had to invite the rest too, and maybe he'd accept. But first, I had to get him to stop hating me. I googled some tips on how to attract a bad boy. I swear, the internet is a wonderful place. Number 1, make sure you stand out. Bad boys like girls who don't blend in. Well, that one was already covered. I stuck out like a sore thumb. No one else dressed in tiger-striped t-shirts or giraffe print leggings or laughed like a hyena. Number 2, say something brief that would catch the guy's attention, then smile mysteriously and walk away to keep him wondering what you were talking about. So one day, I joined Eric and his friends for lunch and sat right opposite him. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Tina.
I had a dream about you last night.
Oh yeah? Were you feeding me to the crocodiles?
I smiled mysteriously and then walked away. Wait a minute, I think that just made me look like a psychopath. Ugh. Number 3, don't let a bad boy know you're intimidated by him. Think of it like coming face to face with a bear. The second you show fear, you'll be destroyed. One day, I was putting stuff in my locker, and suddenly, I found Eric beside me.
Hey, sorry I was snappy before. So, you want to tell me more about your dream?
Well, you're not the boss of me. I'm not afraid of you. I'll dream about you if I like, and I'll tell you if I want to. Then I stomped on his foot and walked off. What the heck was I even doing? He was showing interest in you, you buffoon. The stupid internet has messed up my judgment. Okay, at least he'd tried talking to me himself. Maybe I'd just give him the birthday invitation and he'd accept it now. But the next day, as I was taking the invitations out of my locker, I dropped a few and turned around to find Tracy picking one up. Yeah, that's Snakeskin Tracy. And yeah, she's even prettier now and has a huge Instagram following thanks to her pretty face. So happy for her. Oh, what's this? A birthday party at the zoo? Yeah, it's gonna be a banger. I know the zoo like the back of my hand, and I can show everyone the exclusive spots. And why would we hang out with you? You're the girl who nearly got my boyfriend killed. Huh? Who's your boyfriend? Eric, you dummy. How many boys have you nearly killed in the zoo? Ugh, I couldn't believe Tracy was dating Eric. I couldn't stand her. You know, a little birdie told me that you're obsessed with wolves, and one of them just had the cutest, fluffiest baby. Wouldn't you like to pet a wolf puppy, Tracy? Take a picture for Insta, maybe? Now we're talking, girl. Okay, deal. I'll come to your party, and you arrange the baby wolf meeting. Nuh-uh, not so fast. I'll make it happen if you break up with Eric and you pay me $100. What? But I love him. Can't help you then. Bye. Okay, fine. Consider it done. Here's the money, too. Yeah, I wasn't the nicest back then, but seriously, how sincere could her love be if she broke up with him for a picture? I gave Eric the invitation the next day, and we even started hanging out. At this rate, we'd be girlfriend and boyfriend by my birthday. However, there was just one teeny tiny issue. I might have forgotten to ask my parents' permission for the party.
No way! You can't have 20 people over at the zoo. Not after last time.
But that was 5 years ago.
I know, but I still worry. If something happened, it could cost me my job.
But I won't do anything stupid, I promise. It took my parents 5 whole days to give in, but finally they did, and I made sure everyone was familiar with the rules beforehand. No interaction with the animals without my supervision, and of course, they had to bring me presents. Before I knew it, the day of the party had arrived. I had a balloon arch and a huge cake smack in the middle of the zoo, and everyone turned up. Of course, I only wanted Eric, but I wasn't complaining about the pile of presents. I'm so happy you guys could all make it. Because of what happened many years ago, we can't go inside any enclosures, but I'll be giving you a tour of the zoo once everyone's done eating. Now dig in! I was cutting up the biggest slice of cake for Eric when Tracy suddenly pinched my arm. When will I get my pictures with the wolf pup, Tina? Shh, don't announce it, then everyone will want pictures. I have the key to the enclosure right here in my pocket. I'll take you when I have time. Tracy huffed off to sulk in some corner, and I let her. I was enjoying messing around with her. Oh, also, the keys I had, they were for the harmless mountain goats enclosure. I wasn't gonna repeat past mistakes and put anyone in any real danger, duh. But some 10 minutes later, we heard high-pitched screams, and then Tracy came running like a mad woman. Save me from the freaking goat! Help me! Right behind her, a goat came charging in and slammed right into the food table. The kids screamed and all ran away, including Eric. It was just me and the goat left, and boy, she did not look happy. Come on, Butthead, you know me. I named you Butthead, remember? No? Nothing? Bah, bah. See, I'm your sister. Bah! It wasn't working. Butthead was stomping her foot, ready to charge me. My legs felt frozen, and I really thought that this would be my end, when suddenly…
Hey, you, goat, get away from her. Hey, pay attention to me.
A boy with glasses I'd never seen before was standing a few meters from me, and he was whistling to Butthead and pulling faces at her. Are you crazy?
Don't worry about me. I got this. Just run.
I didn't need to be told twice. I ran as fast as I could back to my house. All my guests had left, and my parents were waiting for me, looking furious. We found Butthead back in her enclosure, and the mysterious boy was nowhere to be seen. I had no idea how he'd snuck in or out, but he'd certainly saved my life. Other than that, things were pretty bleak. Yes, she gave me the key. First, she charged me for a wolf picture, then sent me to the mad goat's enclosure. I never gave you the key. You stole it from me, and I've never seen a goat behave like that before. You must have done something to make it so angry. Maybe it's just your face. You have that effect on some people. Trust me. But everyone was against me, even Eric. Well, especially Eric.
You're such a weirdo, Tina, and all you do is put us in danger. Just stay away from us.
The zoo authorities reviewed the case, and they didn't fire my parents, but they told us we had to move out of there. I was banned for life. We moved into an apartment, and I spent the next week in my new room crying, and also very much grounded, before Dad came to me.
I think it's time for you to grow up a bit, Tina. This summer, we'll send you away to a camp where you can learn some discipline.
What? And well, that's how I got here. This place is boring. We sleep outside in tents, which are not comfortable, and all we do is study. Fine, sometimes we go swimming in the lake too, but mostly it's just annoying. To make it worse, Tracy was there too. Don't go near Tina. She grew up with animals and has their diseases. She might bite. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Thanks to Tracy, most people chose to stay away from me, and it was lonely. But one good thing about being here was that I had plenty of time to read about animals, which was nice. I'd always been too busy playing with animals to read about them before. I might even become a vet after this. One day, she was poking fun at me again, and I kept trying to ignore her. So, how does it feel to be kicked out of the zoo? Do you miss your four-legged brothers and sisters? Do you miss the stink of animal poop? Do you even know what fresh air smells like?
Hey, knock it off and leave her alone.
That voice was so familiar, and I turned around to see the mysterious boy from the zoo. Wait, it's you. You saved me from the goat.
Yep, I'm Mason, by the way. I've been sneaking in and out of the zoo for ages. I just like hanging out around animals. And that day, I was just roaming around when I happened to see your friend Tracy here stealing the keys from your pocket. So I took some pictures.
You took pictures? Yeah, right. You're lying.
They're right here on my phone, but it'll be $5 if you want to see them.
Why would I want to see them?
How will you know if I'm lying or not?
Ugh! Tracy paid up, and Mason really wasn't lying. I spoke to the camp leaders about how her lies had caused so much trouble for my family, and how she was harassing me even now, and Mason backed me up, and Tracy got kicked out. Mason and I became quick friends, and spent the summer together for the most part. He was really nice, and we could talk about animals all day. At the end of camp, I was kinda sad to know I wouldn't be seeing him every day. You see, I developed a small crush on Mason, even though he was a very good boy. I really have grown up. Promise to write to me every week?
I will.
And when I went back home, I also showed the pictures to my parents, and they apologized for not believing me before. Even my zoo privileges were reinstated, and I could visit anytime I wanted. Mom, Dad, I want to be a vet, and I think I want to change schools. I've looked up a few where they start vet courses in high school.
That sounds like a good idea, and it's a very fitting job for you, sweetheart.
Things were going well, except that Mason didn't really stay in touch, which made me kinda sad. I was both excited and nervous on my first day in my new school. I didn't know anyone, and I wasn't the best at making friends. Just then, someone came and sat next to me.
Hi, Tina.
Mason, hi! You're in my class?
Or you're in mine. Either way, we're both here. Listen, I meant to stay in touch, and things have just been crazy. I'll tell you all about it, but first, I really missed you.
I missed you too. Guess I didn't have to start from scratch after all.